welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sewjo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things. And this is my What Will I Make series, and that's where I take some sort of pre-cut and some other yardage and things that I have in my stash, find a free pattern or tutorial off the internet, and make a quilt top. So, I have this layer cake. Now this is called Indi-glow. Indi-glow by Studio Mousseau 10 karat crystals, Wilmington Prints. Take a look at some of the fabrics. Now these are all like a blue. Now when I do these, I try to alternate between when I go in and find like one of my oldest pre-cuts I have, and then a pre-cut that I just like that's more recent. So this is in the older pile. So this is one of the pre-cuts, one of my first pre-cuts, I guess I should say, when I first started buying pre-cuts. So this is from several years ago. So I have that. Then I also have a Kona layer cake with these 10-inch squares that's just all white. And I have some yardage of white. Now this I'm not going to use very much of. This is just going to be for a small inner border around the quilt top. Then I have some navy blue Kona that's just going to be a border. And then I think I'm going to use this blue for binding. Not sure yet. I might just use this for a border and a binding. We'll see. This blue was a little bit different than what's in this print here, so we'll see. And then again, when I'm done, it may pull some of the blue out. I don't know. But if not, I'll just use this for binding. But I have all of that. So what am I going to make? As I'm making the camera shake, sorry about that. I'm going to make this Snail Trail block right here with the layer cake. Now there are many different ways and methods to make the Snail Trail block. I'm going to use the Missouri Star video, which I will link down for the actual tutorial down in the description block. But I do also know like Fat Quarter Shop sells foundation paper piecing. This is a 6-inch. I think they also have it in a 12-inch. Mine are going to be about 7.5-inch blocks. So there we go. Now, for the cutting for this is kind of specific. I'm not going to give cutting measurements for all the pieces I'm going to cut, but I will, like I said, link the tutorial down in the description box. You can go watch that tutorial and get all the cutting. It is very easy. So let's turn everything around and get started. So I have my layer cakes here. We're just going to open them up. And then we're going to start pairing it up. A white square with a print square. Oh, need to open this here too. There we go. So I'm just going to stack these up here together. So a white square and a print square. Get them somewhat lined up. Now these are going to have to be trimmed as we go, so I'm not too concerned about them being the exact same size. And I'm going to stack up maybe about 3 pairs or 6 layers. Sometimes I go up to 8 layers when I cut, but I think I'm going to do about 6. One more, and then I'm going to cut them all up according to the tutorial. And I'm not going to give out the sizes since it's not my pattern, but I will link that tutorial in the description box below where we'll tell you those sizes to cut.
So these are what my test blocks are going to look like. These are what I'm making. So I have all the cutting done, and basically I have large triangles. See if I can bring that up a little bit. I have my stack of large triangles. I have my stack of small triangles. I have my stack of strips. And I have a stack of medium triangles. Now, when I was making my cutting with the layer cakes, I did make a couple cutting mistakes. And I decided that when I was making these piles to start putting them in the order, and I cut them, and it did help to reduce the rest of those cutting mistakes. Because I did make some cutting mistakes. Some of the things I had to like piece together and didn't cut out, but it all worked out. Now, for each set of my print and my white square, it's going to give me 2 blocks. So in the end, I should have like 84 blocks. I think I'm only going to need like 80. So I will have a couple blocks left over that I can pull out if I don't like it. Plus, I think there was 3 squares in here that was a tone on tone that was white that I probably won't use. We'll just have to see when we get there. So now that I have all these pieces cut out, I'm going to need these strips to start off with, and I'm going to go ahead and switch these small triangles with these medium triangles so they're in the order I'm going to use them as I sew. I'm going to use the small triangles first, then the medium, and then the large. Just kind of help me keep things together. And so I have a set here. This is a print, and this is a white. And basically, I'm just going to go sew these together like this. All of these prints. Now, because I like my pins and I don't know how to sew without them, I'm going to throw pins in, but it's obviously not necessary. I have sewn all these print strips to a white strip. Now I'm going to cut these apart because we're going to make 4 patches from them. Now I love my Stripology ruler, however it's big. This is what I'm going to use this time. Now this is from June Taylor. It's a quarter cut. Now I've had this long before I even knew about Stripologies. I actually think I had this before Stripologies were even made. But this is smaller, so I'm going to use it. Now this one also has 1/4 inch cuts. I don't need the 1/4 inch cuts, but I'm going to cut this apart. And I'm just going to cut them to the same width of what I started with for the strips, because I'm just making 4 patches. So I can get rid of the ends and then just flip this over and this over, and I'll put them together, and they're my 4 patches. So I'll just do that for all of them. Now I have my piles of 4 patches right here, which will be the center for these Snail Trail blocks. So I'm going to take these 4 patches, and then I just need these small triangles. And I'm going to take the print. First, I'm going to turn my 4 patches so the print is in this corner. And then I just need to put a print of the small triangle on the top and the bottom, top and the bottom. But I'm going to save all that for part 2. Okay, till next time. Bye.